Now we just get to take a second to have a little bit of fun. Just pure fun through the mania, the mental concern, or the mental state that's causing concern for me of Tucker Carlson. Yes, that Tucker Carlson. And he told his demon story again. So there's a few interesting aspects of this event that he held, Megyn Kelly held it, and Ben Shapiro comes out and sort of, there's a MAGA civil war going on, calls out Tucker Carlson gets asked about his Nick Fuentes interview, all that we'll get to. But let's just start with, you might remember some time ago, he told the story of how he woke up with scratches on him. And he happened to be in bed with 4 dogs, but he assumed it was a demon, a real demon. And well, he told the story again, and there's a little discrepancies, which I find fascinating. So let's explore. I don't think he's well, is my point.
You said you think you were attacked by a demon. And I have to tell you, like, a lot of people mock this, they roll their eyes, but I look at, like, what happened to Charlie, what happened in the wake of Charlie, what happened at the Ascension School in Minneapolis, where that man went in there and shot a bunch of little children praying at their church school. And I challenge anyone to tell me there aren't demons among us.
Well, first of all, it depends on how we're defining demon. Because, yeah, if you mean like the pure essence of evil, what you just listed, evil, demonic, like in that sense, he's saying like a physical creature, a demon creature scratched him. Not evil manifested in humanity, but literally, and then after the demon scratched him, before Tucker could get to it, it had turned back into his dog.
I never thought there were. I thought the whole thing was like bizarre.
So what happened?
Because like culturally, I'm just not from a world where people are attacked by demons. And in fact, when it happened the next morning, when I saw the blood on my sheets, I was like, I actually called someone who works for me who's a very sincere, lifelong evangelical, and I'm like, have you ever heard of this? And she's like, oh yeah, it happens all the time. And I was like, what? Not to Episcopalians, it doesn't.
Stuff it down.
Yeah, no, it was wild. Yeah, I mean, I'm not embarrassed at all, and I don't care if I'm mocked. Don't get anything out of making this up, and I'm not making it up.
But what happened?
I had this crazy experience where I was in the truck with someone coming back from quail hunting, and I had all of a sudden we were talking about someone I despise, and all of a sudden I had this crazy empathy for the person, like really intense empathy, like I could understand why this person was doing these horrible things. And I said to the person in the truck, this is a family dispute, right? So I said to the person, maybe my brother, and I said, I think I know what's happening here. This person feels this way, that way, this way. And my brother goes, how did you know that? I said, I don't know. It just like, and my brother goes, I think like God is like speaking through you or something. And I felt total, true empathy for this person.
So far on the journey to the story of him getting attacked by a demon, he's saying that something supernatural happened because he realized that he had the capability to feel empathy. There's something so Tucker about that. I like hate this person, and then I realized they're a human with their own emotions, and I was like, okay, God, I see you.
Radicalized.
Has anyone ever done that before? Like, put yourself in someone else's shoes? It's weird. It's radicalizing.
Person I truly hate. It was like the craziest thing that's ever happened to me. I have no idea where it came from. My brother's like, I think that's from God. Like, there's no way you can. I was like, well, that's kind of wild. So then I get home. We have this huge dinner party, which we always have dinner parties, and I forget about it. And I'm telling you this because they're twinned. The one leads to the other. I had this profound experience with God, like profound and beautiful and unexpected. And then I go to bed with my wife and 4 dogs who sleep in the bed. My wife said 4 children. My dogs are hunting dogs. All 5 of them wake up like that. Like we have no home invaders in my house. I wake up at 2:30 in the morning. I check and I couldn't breathe at all. My throat was closed. It wasn't like I was apnea or was strong as I couldn't breathe. So I get up, I stand in the doorway of our bedroom, and I'm like, wow, I'm dying. I could feel myself starting to gray out. And then I started walking in the backyard, and then it slowly came back, like my throat kind of opened up a little bit. I was like really weirded out. I walk back in, and my wife wakes up. She goes, what is going on? I said, I don't know, I can't breathe. I feel better now. And all of a sudden I had this
Wait, so you're talking and you can't breathe? Timeline. So note that part where he talks to his wife after he gets back from his walk, okay? Because the first time he told it, the series of events was different. We're going to do some detective work here.
He goes, what is going on? I said, I don't know. I can't breathe. I feel better now. And all of a sudden I had this horrible pain underneath my arms, like on the side of my chest, like bad. I thought I'd been like ripped with a knife or something. It just was very intense.
His wife had just attacked him. And he just doesn't want to admit that his wife was just like, ah! She saw him talking about watching or reading 50 Shades of Grey and how he's been going to church services behind churches. Next to dumpsters behind churches. He's been going to church services that are quote unquote more erotic than 50 Shades of Grey. This is from the last segment. And she finds out about that, just her knifing him.
So I go into the bathroom, I flip on the light, and I have claw marks on both sides, on right and left side on my ribs, and they're bleeding. And they're literally claw marks, 4 on either side. I put my fingers in them, don't fit my fingers, and I sleep on my side. So how could? And by the way, no one woke up, so I show my wife, and she's like, "Oh my gosh!" And then I have this like crazy intense desire to read the Bible. So I read the Bible, and I pass out in like 2 minutes, and I wake up, and the next morning I thought, "Man, did I have a wild dream?" And then I see blood in my sheets, and I go in the bathroom, and I have these bloody marks. And my wife goes, I think you were attacked by some supernatural being. And I was like trying to be logical about it. And I was like, yeah, I definitely was. And then I called one of my producers who's like, oh.
This is such a weird telling of this story. And I was like, I'm trying to be logical about this. And of course, thank you, honey. You're exactly right. That's what I was thinking. That was my first assumption when we sleep in a bed with 4 dogs was it must have been a demon. Okay, so you remember that. Again, this is just a fun segment. But then we go back to the first time he told this story. Iconic now. And I don't remember him saying that in the night his wife woke up. He actually specified she didn't wake up. But in this story, he came back from his walk in the middle of the night, and she was awake.
The presence.
Please do if you appreciate the show. Millions of people watch every month who aren't subscribed. A way that you can support what we do is just clicking the subscribe button on YouTube.
Of evil is kickstarting people to wonder about the good.
That's what happened to me.
That's what happened to you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I had a direct experience with it.
In the milieu of journalism or just...
Nope, in my bed at night, and I got attacked while I was asleep with my wife and 4 dogs in the bed and mauled. Physically mauled.
In a spiritual attack by a demon?
Yeah, by a demon. Or by something unseen that left
Is that right?
claw marks on my sides, on my...
So it left physical marks.
Oh, they're still there. Yeah.
Show us.
A year and a half ago.
Was your
Take your shirt off and show us, Tucker. I don't believe you. I don't want to see that. Just take a close-up photo of just the scratches. Don't give me any more context.
wife terrified? I know you were.
I wasn't. I was totally confused. I woke up and I couldn't breathe, and I thought I was going to suffocate, and I walked around outside, and then I walked in, and my wife and dogs had not woken up, and they're very light sleepers. And then I had these terrible pains on my rib cage and on my shoulder, and I was just in my boxer shorts, and I went and flipped on the light in the bathroom, and I had 4 claw marks on either side underneath my arms and on my left shoulder, and they're bleeding.
Wait, they were bleeding?
They're bleeding, yeah. No, they're actual claw marks. And I sleep on my side, so I wasn't clawing myself. I don't have long nails. And they didn't fit my hands anyway. But yeah, that happened. So I'm not from a world where things like that happen. I never heard of anything like that happening before. I had no idea what that was. I knew it was spiritual.
Did you hear? He said my wife and the dogs were still asleep. But the other one, he comes back in and she's awake. Get your story straight, Tucker. Now, even the people who made this documentary, Christianity's movie something.com, even they seem to go, hey, here's a hypothesis. Because right when he goes, I was attacked, there's a dog barking. And I heard this loud noise. It sounded kind of like a rah, 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 rah. And I felt this pain that kind of like the this sort of visual. I just remember flashing before my eyes. And then I felt this wetness, and sort of a noise of, and it was a demon. So I killed the demon. And by the time it died, it was back to my dog. No, I didn't. I'm not accusing him of killing his dog. So then that brings us to flashing ourselves back to our election day coverage when we originally discussed this story with the wonderful Josiah from Pondering Politics. And I presented Alex Jones's response to this story to Josiah. You remember this?
And I said, recently, has anyone laid hands on you?
It just sounds like
Wait.
the beginning.
I thought it was.
I'll play more.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's my favorite part. Tucker,
has anyone laid hands on you?
Because I can make a man out of you.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't know. Was he flirting with him?
Exactly. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And Tucker's reaction to this confirms that something funky's going on.
And I said, recently, has anyone laid hands on you?
Why are you dropping your chin like that?
He just came to me and he said, he got really freaked out. He kind of got up. So he went to the bathroom. He came back and he said, I haven't even told my wife this. I haven't told anybody. He goes, it was just a week ago. I was on an airplane flying back here, and this happened a while back before that. And it started clicking to him. Was that when this happened?
I thought it was in bed. Now we're on a plane.
So we were like simpatico. We were like, linked up.
Yeah, they were.
But I'm going to tell more of the story tomorrow. I need to call him and get permission.
You just announced it to the world.
Yeah.
You idiot. What are you talking?
Y'all were simpatico whenever you put your hands on him.
I love like awkwardly telling a very strange secret about a friend and then saying afterwards I should call him and get his permission. Yeah, all of that was very strange. I've got 2 questions for you.
Okay.
Starting with this one.
Yeah.
Has anyone laid hands on you recently? No, that's my question to you, Luke.
I need the touch of
a dog, or 4 dogs.
Or claw.
And
Good times. And then our entire life was ruined after that. To go find that clip, I had to skim through the election night coverage. And if you're not yet a member, I think you should become a member just because I had to go through that by clicking the join button. I had to go skim through because I didn't remember where it was. Us like, wow, election night. Yes, Kamala's going to win. And then we're like, maybe it'll be close. Maybe it'll be not that good. Oh, there's still hope. And then there's not. And then there's just a video of me like, hi guys. So the election's over. So I think that's worth joining. Now, no, I don't believe that. I believe it was the dogs, obviously. Sorry, I don't want to make fun of your belief. It's not that God is not influencing things or demons aren't in the form of dogs. It's just that didn't happen specifically. Now, Tucker did this interview with Nick Fuentes, the white nationalist kid who was described by Tucker a few weeks before his interview as a weird little gay kid in his mother's basement and a Fed. And there was this really sweet moment where Tucker goes, I thought you were a Fed. And Nick goes, really? I thought you were a Fed. Bonding. And so then they had this interview. It was very simpatico, to use a term. And Tucker was asked about, why didn't you confront Nick on all of these different things he said and parts of his ideology? And we'll look at Tucker's response.
Nick Fuentes has said a long list of very vile things.
Big time, including attacking my dad, which was the most vile of all, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I personally have watched videos of him questioning.
Praising Hitler, I think, is a little more offensive than attacking your dad.
Of him questioning the Holocaust, likening it to baking cookies in the oven, and there's no way you could have gotten to 6 million. Seems to be his theory. He seemed to think that we've way overstated the number of Jews killed in the Holocaust. He's ripped on poor Usha Vance in the most offensive terms. Which I mean, so what do you say to those people? Say, why don't you?
She's like, he's questioned the Holocaust, and Tucker's like, yeah, well, okay. And she's like, oh, shoot, attacked your dad? He's like, yeah. And then she's like, oh, gosh, he said he likes Hitler. Tucker's like, he attacked Usha? Are we going to defend Usha Vance? It's like, is that really high up on the list of the terrible things he said? But Usha!
Why didn't you raise any of that?
Do your own interview the way that you want to do it. You're not my editor. Buzz off. I mean, I don't know. You want to go yell at Nick Fuentes? I'll give you his cell. Call him and go sit and yell at him and feel virtuous or whatever. That's up to you. I got the same thing with Putin. Why aren't you yelling at him? Okay, why? So I can show that I'm a good person? I care about what my wife thinks, my children think, and God thinks, and that's it. I don't need to prove that I'm a good person to you. You may think I'm a terrible person. Okay, I'm just doing my thing, which is I want to understand what people think, and I'm committed to that. And if you don't like it, don't watch. That's my.
I love him going, what? You think I should have like been more aggressive? Just what? To show I'm a good person? I guess kind of, to be a good person. Yeah, I guess I'm saying you should be a good person. Is that so crazy? Is that racist? Oh! I don't think so, Tucker. Not so fast. Not so fast. All I'm wondering is, Megyn Kelly brought up some things he said. There's a long list. I saw Nick's response was like, what? That doesn't even matter. I said things. Who doesn't say things? But then, I guess what I'm asking more logistically is, how did you not have time to ask him about those things, but you did have time to ask him this?
What is porn exactly? Like, describe
it sort of in detail. Like, what does he do? What does she do? What does a moan sound like? Would you reenact that for me, Nick? So you had time to ask,
what is porn exactly? Like,
but not, hey, you Nazi? You Nazi or no Nazi? Just logistically seems strange that you prioritize that. All right. Then to a different event, Steve Bannon said this.
And I will tell you right now, as God is my witness, if we lose the midterms and we lose 2028, some in this room are going to prison, myself included. They're not going to stop.
So I saw someone call him online. I just want to say I really don't like him, obviously, but someone called him Job of the Bannon, and I just wanted to say, for the record, I don't like people using those sorts of phrases. Like, let's attack his ideas. There's just no need to kind of lower ourselves to Job of the Bannon. It feels offensive. So I'm just announcing that specifically, but then otherwise criticize him, all you want. So it is interesting for him to go, guys, if we lose this next election, I'm going to jail. Steve, who's in your basement? What'd you do, Steve? If we lose this election, I'm going to jail. They're gonna say I cheated on my wife with her sister and then tried to cover it up by sicking Tucker's dogs on her. And then, like, in the show I now have her in a glass box in my basement. Like, they're going to say these things about me to arrest me. So we can't let that happen. I meant to show you this clip, too. Ben Shapiro on the same stage, either before or after Tucker came out, engaging in the MAGA civil war.
That if I see somebody breach basic moral values by having on a Nazi, and in my own view, take your own view, in my own view, gloss the Nazi, then I'm going to speak out about that.
Hey, I'm with you on the weird that Tucker's buddy with Nick. Did you just say gloss? It's glaze. He said he glossed the Nazi. Have you heard that? Glossed the Nazi. I don't think it's you gloss someone.
In my own view, gloss the Nazi. Then I'm going to speak out about that. And I'm going to point out that there is a long pattern of him ideologically laundering terrible ideas over the course of the last 2 years, ranging from traveling to Russia to sniff the bread and explain why the Russian regime is actually wonderful, to saying last week that the Venezuelan regime...
Is the crowd cheering for Ben's point or cheering for the Russian regime? I can't tell.
Nicolas Maduro is actually not that bad because they're being attacked by, in his words, a globo homo.
Tucker's made the point. I'm not going to be Tucker's defender.
It's kind of hard to hear. This is what's tough about their infighting is like they'll attack each other. I'm like, who am I with in this? Because he makes the point about Russia. Y'all know part of why I dislike Tucker so deeply is because of how passionate I've been about Ukraine and traveling there and hearing about what the lies that are perpetuated by people like him do in the lives of people that further the bloodshed. And it has sickened me to see how he's just been a Russian propagandist for this invasion. And I could never have any respect for Tucker after that, among many other reasons. But then Ben shifts to, and Tucker was glossing. He's putting lip gloss on Maduro. And I don't know whose voice that was. I don't know. And I'm like, yeah, that was weird when Tucker went, overthrowing Maduro would be potentially in the interest of the Globo Homo project because Maduro's anti-LGBTQ. But then at the same time, I don't want us to go to war with Venezuela for a regime change. So it's like Ben seems to be maybe favoring the Trump administration's invasion of Venezuela potential. I don't want that. But I also heard Tucker's argument. It was like, that was weird. What do you mean Globo Homo, you freak? Who's the victor in this? I have no clue. They're all whacked. Then Tucker's former employer, Fox News, who has news in their title, held an event called Patriot Awards, where they're supposed to be an independent journalistic entity. And they honored Melania Trump as the Patriot of the Year. This is state TV type stuff.
Fox Nation, are you ready? Please join me in welcoming Fox Nation's Patriot of the Year, the First Lady of the United States of America, Melania Trump.
Lonnie! I'm your biggest fan!
Booyah, Navy!
Sign my baby! You know how we had to, I won't even say it because people get so upset, but I don't know, whatever. I had to call out people being weird with a different couple on stage. Can we start this rumor? I think Sean and Melania have something going on. A little too close for comfort. Also, why is he dressed like the KFC logo? What is this? It's so bonkers. Okay, so she's the Patriot of the Year. I feel like there must be more patriots than her. Than Hegseth doing his thing.
As I've said, no more gender quotas, no more DEI, no more climate change.
To the right, to the right, to the right. Look at this, ready? Oh, it's just left. Okay, ready?
No more gender quotas, no more DEI, no more climate change.
No kick. Walking by yourself.
No more dudes in dresses. We're done with that shit.
Hey, bro. What do you look at? What are you looking at? I've called hundreds of sources now, deep within the Pentagon, and I've said, find me the dudes in dresses. Find them for me. And they got back and they said, sir, we found JD Vance in a dress, but that was it. So I don't know why he's so fixated on that. It's very strange. It's very, very strange. Then this.
So many dear friends, so many people I love, so many incredible colleagues. I see Mike Walls. Mike, I'll hit you up on Signal later. Too soon? Come on.
Because you remember, do you remember when they leaked classified information on accident?